So I bought one of these cheap digital microscopes because I wanted to film tiny creatures underwater. And while it worked surprisingly well for electronics and some surfaces, it didn't go as planned underwater. But you know what? Let me just show you. Well, this digital microscope had decent reviews, a decent rating, and the price was cheap, so I thought to myself, why not try it out on the small microorganisms that I usually have around? I didn't expect any miracles, I just expected some useful pictures or videos to use. For reference reasons, these are the videos I usually take with my phone. I'm using a Galaxy S23 and this is how it would look like. Now when I wanted to take a closer look, this is what I found. So in the following clip you can see mostly juvenile bladder snails and a worm that looks like tubifex. The very first thing I noticed is that it isn't as colorful as I hoped it would be. I mean, fair enough, microscopy isn't primarily about colors, but more about structures. You can see a little bit into the worm's inner working, but for the snails, due to their shell, they did not reveal many details, unfortunately. But the worst thing is that you can see the LEDs, light reflections on the water surface. This unfortunately ruined the fun for me a bit. In the next clip, you can see ostracods, also called sea shrimp. Here I couldn't see many details either due to their shells. The one thing that genuinely surprised me was that there was a water mite among the ostracods. Without the magnification, I would have never guessed it, and only under the digital microscope I can finally see the legs of the water mite and therefore properly classify it. So the fastest dot with multiple legs is a freshwater mite. So in the next clip you can see water fleas. Due to being partially translucent, the microscopy helped here a little, but unfortunately the quality was still poor. Nonetheless more useful than the sea shrimp. With the insect larvae you can already tell a few structures apart, which is quite useful. However, with darker bodies and water reflection, it becomes harder than anticipated. Well, nothing grand but still usable for the insect larvae, but for the hornwort, it was a complete failure. I can't see anything besides a few green needles. So it's not for underwater plants, got it. For the aquatic soulbug, I had one of the highest expectations, but for the reasons I already foretold before, this has produced one of the worst footages. Just like with the plants, with the insect larvae, at least I could make up some structures, which is somewhat useful, but here I only see a bunch of legs attached to a dark surface. Even after increasing light, nothing changed. How unfortunate. And for those of you who are disappointed of this microscopy with water organisms, for objects outside the water, like for example this ESP32C3 model, it works fine. You can see the small structures, like pins, resistors, or very small inscriptions. So yeah, it seems to be working fine here. The digital microscope does come with its own perks, like for example taking pictures or videos independently from your laptop or your phone. Its strength seems to be more the microscopy of surfaces and the detailed work that comes with it, rather than microscopy with tiny organisms. All in all, I'm still going to use this digital microscope in the future. It doesn't work very well for tiny creatures from a pond, but I'm still going to test it out some more on electronics and other surfaces. But that's for another time at another day. And until then, bye.